Yep, it's day 2. Worked on it about 8 hours yesterday, not counting lunch and a couple breaks. Granted, half that time was dealing with the video and trying to get that right, and so I would say I legitimately spent 4 hours on it. It's cold this morning. I got heaters going. I think we can get this finished in just a couple hours. I say a couple, it would be one if you were doing this. Also, it's just me working on this, so if you had someone else helping, it would probably be a lot quicker. So some of the things that slowed me down, that 10 mil bolt on the lower radiator hose, that put me way behind from dropping it and having to loosen up the sway bar and everything to pull it out so I could get it back on. Wiring clips, figuring out how to get those off and bending that screwdriver. Go ahead and do that ahead of time, because that's some of those, it's the only way you can get them. But it's on, and we're gonna be able to drive it today, and it ain't raining today. So I hope you remembered where all those wires went, where they clipped. I don't know. I slept last night a little bit. I may not remember where any of it goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go through the instructions in reverse order so that I don't miss anything. So the next step is to put the radiator clip back on that I had removed and put the hose in it. And this is the one that had some sticky like tape or something on it holding it in place. I can do this from up top. I'm going to put it around the hose. I am not clipping it yet. Line the plug up where it plugs into the fan shroud. Push it in. Get it placed properly. Hose location. And then pinch the clamp together. Booyah! Alright, that's done. So now we do need to figure out where the wiring goes. In doing this in the reverse order, sorry, I don't know if this light really helps that much, but with my camera exposure issues, I'll get as much light as I can. So this one is here. So this wiring clamp has to go at the bottom. There we go. The ground is there. Alright, I'm going to do this off camera. It's already long enough, and I'll show you where they run. Okay, the clips are all in. It's actually not that bad. You just got to follow them and understand that there are extra holes. So don't let the extra holes confuse you. And you can see in the video how they run. Don't forget your ground. AC link line. AC line to shroud. My writing's horrible. This one secures this AC line to the shroud. Make sure we get that done. It's another one that could be forgotten. It's 10 mil. This is going into plastic. Don't over tighten. Next, we had those side braces that hold the shroud, one on each side. We're going to put those back on. So this one, because of that line, is a little tricky. Well, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but if I feed it, alright, let's just lift that up. we go. Feed it from the back, bottom. Sorry, my arm's probably blocking your view, but pull the top in a little. That'll allow us to, boom, there we go. Just manhandle it. Don't worry, nothing's gonna break, right? So you can probably just barely see this one, but honestly, this one is so easy to get in. Slide it back here. Put the locating pins in. Tighten. Just watch your hoses and knock the light again. Now we have the fan radiator support brackets, actually. They're angled. That should be parallel with the ground. Clean that up a little bit. Two 10 mils on each side. Unclip and remove the wiring harness from beneath the core support. Well, what we want to do is put it back in. Sorry, let me do this where you can see. You probably can't see because it's just not that bright. Boom. There's one over here. These little ones are harder. Okay. One here. Is there one there? No, I shouldn't have done that one yet. Okay, those are just holes for whatever reason. There, 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 and there. We're good. Now is when I'm supposed to put this right here. Plug that back in. That's already done. 12 mil socket. Put the Airbox support bracket back on. And I thought that was cleaner. Hope you didn't spill any from your coolant reservoir, because it is good to go back in. Line the two tabs up. Voila. Airbox is next. You've got to line up the left side. Okay, it just slides in there. Now, move that bolt. It's not in the way. Alright, and you got those feet. Okay, well, actually the left came undone, out of line. Line that back up. That's lined up. Good. Plug your coolant lines back in. And there's a little bit's going to come out. And got all my papers. Boy, that's going to really mess me up when I put the stock one back on when I go to sell it. Yeah. This pops in there. Basically, you're plugging up your mass airflow sensor. Just secure your bolt over here. It looks like a 10 mil. Now we're going to put these on. Put this back on. Don't forget to remove your tape. Now is your time to remove the tape. finagle this onto the throttle body. It is a tight fit. There it goes. And you will know when it goes all the way on. I'm going to tighten the 2 bolts here. Then squeeze the clamp, put that back in. We're running out of steps. This is good. Put your battery box back in. If you took it out, put it back in, put the clip back in. If you did what I did, then just put the 12 mils back in place. It really helps on this one if you have a foot-long extension. You don't have to have one, but it does make it easier. Next, battery. Good time to clean the top of your battery off. At least blow the debris off of it. Okay. There's just like no handles on this battery at all. You just literally have to squeeze the battery. So try to get it centered, because you got to fit the insulator around the battery. That thing's a pain. Both sides are a pain. I must have had it centered enough. Still a little loose in there. That's all right. Don't want that on that when you put that in. Okay. Your battery hold down. So the battery hold down J bolts go down along the side of the battery tray, and then they hook like this. So they're not this way, they're that way. There's an arrow here, points to the front of the car, and that number you should be facing you, should be able to read it. What I find is hold it up in position, then snug the bolt, the nut. There you go. It's a 10 mil. If you have a deep dish socket, you can use a socket. Otherwise, you're gonna have to use a wrench. And do not over tighten these, because you don't want to smash the battery. Now you're going to connect the battery. Again, this is the opposite order we did. Yes, that is at an angle. It's supposed to be that way. You're going to put positive on first. And tighten it. 10 mil. And again, don't over tighten it. Negative. Do you see that? Oh yeah, we now have power to the car. Make sure your cap is down so you don't risk shorting them. Good and tight, but not overly tight. Yeah. How close are we? We got to be close. We got those two side panels. Would have done those when I was down there putting the radiator ones on, but let's do it. Left side panel goes here. 210 mils. This is all these are doing is holding a piece of plastic on. So just snug them up. We're now on the right side of the car, doing the same place. Got a few more things in the way, but it's the same process. So wait, someone is still watching? All right, bonus. If you are going to be disconnecting the battery when you're working on your car, and you may have to open your doors, and more importantly, close your doors. Be sure to crack the windows. If you when you disconnect that battery, you know how when you open the doors, when it's normally the window will go down a little bit, and then when you open, then when you close, it'll go back up. Well, it can't do that, so that window's going to be all the way up. It's not going to want to close. You can open it all right, but it won't want to close. So there's your bonus for having sat through this long and arduous video. In putting back the underneath panels, put it back the same way that I took it out. That is, you actually got to put this center one in. You can't see my hand. Center one in first. You're going to connect it with, there's 4 of these, 2 of these big ones. There's 2 10 mils in the back, I'll show you, and there's 10 of these little Phillips headed ones. Let's go underneath the vehicle so I can show you. You want to slide that in to hold it. And in the back, I started the 2 10 mils, one here, one over there. The large nylon fasteners go here and here. The way to tell whether you need one of those little Phillips head screws or one of the regular nylon fasteners is if it's got a clip. Pay attention to where the clips are. That's where you put your screws, and obviously this one goes, the side piece will go here and you'll put a screw there, but you have to put this here in place so that you can do the 3 10 mils that go here on each side that you have to get in before you can start putting the side pieces in. At least that's the way I did it. We have 6 nylon fasteners that go on each side. And if you have the body kit, you got to work it a little bit. Alright, and this actually goes behind. You can tell this is cleaner. Feed that behind. Tuck it. Oh man. There, tuck it under your body panel, your side skirt thing. And plug it in, push it. Yeah, I know that one's cracked, but it still functions. That's why I put it where I did though. Oh, I could have put it in this very, you can't see this one, all the way in the back. So I tend to kind of scatter them to try to help line it up better. course, this one doesn't want to line up well. There it goes. There. 6 in. And see, you wanted, this blocks access to those 3. That's why you got to do those first. Now we'll do the other side. So we're underneath. I want to show you real quick. Right here, vinyl fastener. Right here, vinyl fastener. The 4 Phillips head screws. There, and same thing on each side. So now you know where they went, which came out. This is a 19. I don't promise that they weren't a little different on the earlier models. So now everything's back together, and drove it. Everything's good. Makes a big difference. You can actually do slaloms now, and hopefully that some of those tips on the reassembly was helpful. If so, please like, subscribe, comment, and if I can answer your questions, I will. If I can't, maybe someone else can. So good luck with yours.